Hello YouTubers, my name is Lethalogica and welcome to part 12 of Feed the Beast Minecraft. In today's video, we are going to be covering a little bit more in Tinker's Construct, more on this area, and some stuff on pumps. So the first thing I want to show you off is these cool little covers here. So behind these panels, I've hidden our pipes and power back there and all sorts of things, and I'm going to show you how to make them. So the first thing you're going to need to construct is a saw. Now a saw can be made out of iron, it can be made out of, there's three tiers, sorry. There's the iron tier, which cuts your soft items like dirt, sand, gravel. Don't think it does cobblestone. Then you have your tier 2, which is your ruby, paradox, and sapphire, which I'm using a ruby one right now. Just bring up the recipe for this. And your final tier is your diamond, which will cut anything. So, like I said, I made a ruby one, and it's 2 sticks, 2 stone tool rods, and then these can be rubies, sapphires, or the peridot gems. So the stone rod is very simple. It's just 2 pieces of stone like this, and it'll give you 4, so it's not very hard. And you just put it together like this. So the 2 sticks here, 2 rods, and then your 2 gems. So how do you use this? Well, what you do is you take your block and you're going to want to put your saw on top of it first. And it will give you 2 slabs. And then from there, you can slice it again and get panels. And then finally, you can get covers. The next way to do this is, instead of, let's say you don't want the slabs, what you can do is you can get pillars instead. And I do not have enough inventory space in here. So you can do pillars. And again, you can make little notches. I think you can use, nope. And then you can cut these again and get your little corner pieces. So you can actually go pretty far in here. Now let's say you've made a mistake and you're like, oh, I didn't really want to chop this block up. All these items can be recombined very, very quickly to get you back your block that you had. So that's how you do it. So we are actually going to be leaving these out because we need to put them down. So I've got this area, but I still need to fix up near the top. So what we're going to do is climb back up to the top of our tank, and as you can see, our tank is getting lava quite nicely. Now to place them, you're going to just want to carefully hover over, and I'm not sure you can see, but there's a ghost image, and they're a little bit of a pain to place because it has to work on different ends, but you can, with a little bit of patience, you can get this. And if you screw up, it's not a big deal. All you have to do is just go, you can mine it with a normal pick, whatever pickaxe you use to get the material, and that's it. So the next thing we're going to be checking out, so that was Microblocks and how you fill those, and you can use them for all sorts of different things. As you can see here, we have very clear glass. I mean, perfectly. There's no texture, there's nothing in the way, and we're going to be using it to cover our engines. And a very cool thing about this glass is, if let's say you need to, move a piece, you get it one back. So it does return the item to you. So if you do need to mine or you need to break glass, it's not as big of a deal in this mod, as you can just replace it. So I think that's cool. Now, how in the devil did I make this? Well, we're going to be checking out some more Tinker's Construct. So I know this is a mod I have not really gone into very much, and I do apologize. And I've set up a little Smeltry here to show it off. And how you build this is it requires several components. So I actually need to go back to my base here. The very first thing you need to make is grout, which is 1 gravel, 1 clay, 1 sand. And you can just, and it gives you 2. I think, yeah, I am grout. Okay. I don't know if anyone's seen Guardians of the Galaxies, but yeah, the I am Groot. So I'm pretty sure that's a color to that. And what you're going to want to do is smelt this down so it doesn't, and you will get a seared brick out of it. Just bring that up. So you get seared brick. Sorry, get your term for the terminology here. You have your seared brick, and you combine them together to get. You can make seared bricks, and you're going to need a lot of this. So you're going to want to go out and mine a bunch. Let me just get. I already had a bunch of bricks ready to go. So in order to make a smeltery, you're going to want a 3x3 area, and it needs to be like this. And then you'll want to surround at least a couple of the sides. Something like that. And then for the final side, you will need a few other components. So you can make this 1 or 2 high. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter if you have the corners or completely fill in the other areas. And the other components you'll need is a smeltery controller, a seared tank, seared faucet, and the smeltery drain. Since I already constructed these, I'm not going to make them, and I have no route left. But these recipes are very, very simple once I find them. So your smeltery controller is just 8 seared bricks around the outside like that. Your smeltery drain is placing seared bricks on either side. And then finally, your seared window is just 6 seared brick and 3 normal glass. The glass is not required. It just looks cool. Oh, sorry, I missed the seared tank. The seared tank is the other one you'll probably want to have. It's just 8 brick and then 1 glass in the center. These windows, as I said, are optional. You do not need these. I just think it looks cool to be able to see what's going on. So since I don't need this, I'm just going to break these pieces off. So the final thing you'll want is these faucets. So when you plate the smelter drains, they need to be on the bottom somewhere. You will get, and you'll have a window like this. And these faucets are very simple. Oops. They are just 3 brick pieces like that. Will give you 1 faucet. Again, and then all you just do is place them. Now, you will know if this thing completed if the flame turns on here. So if you had it done properly, this will turn on. As for the tank, it will show empty. All you want to do is just get some lava with a bucket. Just right click to get it in there. Very, very simple. So how does this thing work? As you can see, I have a few different items in here. The very first thing, you have 2 options. You can either put sand in there or glass to get that molten glass. And as you can see, I've put quite a large amount in there. Just going to grab 1 more piece to show you as soon as I get out of there. Now, these spaces it'll be 3 per level. So if this thing is like 20 high, you will have a 3x3 area for the base, and then you'll have that 20 times down. So if we just put sand in here, it takes a few minutes to get going and heat up. The cool thing is, though, you can put multiple resources in here, and they'll start going. I don't know if you'll be able to see. Might not. Ooh, random emerald. Yay. Sorry. No, you can't. When you first start off your smeltery area, you'll be able to see the sand and resources in there. So it's going down. It's just smelting away, and soon we'll have the glass. Now, to get this out, it's very simple. You just take the faucet. Now, a word of caution, there are faucets and there are channels, and I actually did make this mistake. So you have a casting channel and a seared faucet. Make sure you build the faucet, because I built some channels and it took me forever to figure out why this wasn't working. So you have your casting basin and your casting table. So if you want those blocks of glass like I have, you just right click on the faucet. This will take a few seconds, but it will fill up. As the golem gets out of my way, and it will harden, and you just right click to remove it. Now this does allow for some automation, because if there's a redstone signal applied to it, it will start filling up. Keep in mind though, it needs to apply a redstone signal every time. So if there's you can't just leave a torch there and it just won't work. And to get things out, if you want to, you can put a hopper underneath this and it will start pulling the items out. So that's pretty cool. Now, if you want to use a different liquid, just click on it and it will automatically bring it to the bottom. And what I'm going to show you is how to make the aluminum brass next. And the aluminum brass, it's 3 ore and 3 aluminum ore and 1 copper. You can also use the dust if you already have it macerated and pulverized down. Basically, you just need to combine it, or you can combine it and get the actual aluminum brass dust or ingot out of it if you already have that. This will double your ores, so that's pretty cool. So the aluminum finished first, it has a lower melting point. Oh, how do you find out about all this? So when you start constructing this, you get a new book, Mighty Smeltry. Now this is tier 3, and I know I kind of glossed over tier 2, but if you just right click, it'll have your introduction, casting, construction, what everything is, all the different items you can make. I don't think it actually contains the melting temperature though. I don't usually use these books too much. So once that copper is finished, it automatically combined with that aluminum we had to make our aluminum brass. Now, this you can either use a basin, which will give you a block of aluminum brass, but we're just going to use our casting table here. So this works the same way. Just give it a second. Once it hardens, right click and pick it up. The blank casts, they don't really have a lot, but you can make landmines out of them, which is cool. Oh, and here it tells you the melting point of aluminum brass, 300 degrees. What you will want to have is you're going to want to make casts. And if you want to make a cast, you just take an ingot like this, or whatever item you want to make a cast of. You right click to put it in there, right click on the faucet, and you'll get a cast. And then now if we want to make ingots, we right click and put the cast in there. We go back to our controller, we click on our molten iron, and then click on our faucet. So that'll harden in a second. The next thing, and I'm going to make 1 or 2 more items in here. I think I have them. So I think I'm going to do this and silver pickaxe. You can do all sorts of things in here. You can make casts of pretty much anything. There's a list of them somewhere in here. Here they are. So here are all the casts you can make. And again, we're going to make a pickaxe cast now, so we'll just throw it in there. Remember, we have to switch back to aluminum. Keep in mind that this configuration is completely changeable. You can have any configuration you want. I generally have the Smeltry controller and the tank side by side. I don't know if that's an actual requirement. There we go. So now that we have a cast of a pickaxe head, I'm going to put this and this away. I switch back to iron. So this will give us an iron pickaxe head. Now here's the problem, is we can't use a normal table to make these parts. So what you'll need to do is we'll need to make a tool forge. The tool forge is 4 blocks. You can use iron, gold, copper, emerald, cobalt, basically any of these resources here. Doesn't really matter, whatever you have an abundance of. I think I have enough iron to do this, so that's what I'm going to be using. I'm just going to put this back. And I do have enough iron. Good. So what we only need 4 blocks to make this, and it's 3 seared bricks on the top and a tool forge. So we have tool station is the one you want. I sell the bricks. So yes, this is a little time consuming. There we go. There's our tool forge. Now, I'm not an expert on Tinker's Construct. I've had to look up a bunch of tutorials. So here are a whole bunch of other things we can make. So if we want to make an iron axe, we can add a pickaxe head part, which we have, a handle of some kind, which we're not going to be using this stone tool. We'll make a really cool one. and a binding still. So let's go grab the remaining parts we need. The binding, good, I still have one. Like I said, it is very tedious to get this set up, but from what I see of people online, once you get it set up, you're not going to want to go back to anything else. So I figured I'd give it a shot. I haven't used this much personally. Let's fill this. And binding down. Oh, I'm running low on iron. Might have to put more in here. So again, your resources do double. Now, I think I have enough to make this. As you can see, this does open up new things like crossbow, scythe, excavator, lumber, axe, so it will chop down a lot more. The hammer will mine a 3x3 area, so there are a lot more options to make here. Oops, didn't mean to close that down. Let's get our pickaxe, and I think this is enough. There. So we get a little bit more, a little stronger of a pickaxe, and you can apply your modifiers to it. So that's how you use the Tool Forge and Tinker's Construct. I hope that was helpful. I know I'm not the best at explaining this, but hopefully I will improve over time. Iron binding, iron head. I think I used the stone by accident. All right, well, let's fix that quickly, shall we? So let's try that again. Can't believe I just did that. So yeah, once you kind of have the parts, this does go a lot smoother. Thankfully, we have enough materials to make this, and I didn't have to go get more, so at least there's that. So yeah, you can make the lower tier and the older parts in here. Still need that stone tool rod. So yeah, if I try to place all this in here, it won't. Oh, it does accept it. Oh, that's right. Sorry, my bad. You need to make the Stool Tone Forge to make these bigger components. You can still make the other ones in the old ones, so I do apologize. I'm pretty sure you still need this to repair with the better materials. So I do apologize for that. A little bit of a mix-up on my part. I had a misunderstanding on how this worked. So we still have a bit more time, and I think the next thing we're going to cover is a little bit about pumps. Now, I'm going to put this Tinker Construct stuff away because I don't need it at the moment. I have a lot of stuff just on me right now. So what we're going to do is I have been digging out a new area that I've been trying to get excavated. But the problem is I have run into this big lake of sewage. So what do? You have two options. Number one, you can take every single bucket. You can take a bucket and you can take one bucket out at a time and then throw them into a larger tank or put them just in another area on the map. But that seems very, very tedious to me, and I don't really want to spend all that time doing that. I'd rather just drain the lake, as it were, get Mr. Smithers with a pump and drain it all. Bonus points if you get the reference to that. So, how do we do this? What we need is a pump. So a pump requires a tank, which we have seen in the past. Oops. And it's just 8 pieces of glass. And this mining well, which is 6 iron, a redstone, an iron gear, and a pickaxe. So I've got everything but the redstone on me. So we'll just have to quickly go back to base here and grab it. I don't know. I'm also running low on food. I haven't bothered to make more bread in a while. Apparently the villagers like just chilling up on the roof. I need to go get them down. Don't want them to hurt themselves. So, it's the iron gear, iron pickaxe. It's that. So that makes our mining well. Now the mining well, what it will do is it will dig straight down. If you place it and give it power, and I recommend putting an output chest, it will just dig down every block until it hits a liquid, like lava. Yeah. Now this is useful if you're trying to search for lava. I was hoping to find a giant pool of lava underground, but of course the one time I want to find large amounts of lava, I can't. Usually I run right into the stuff, literally, and then I die. So we just need the pump because our stuff is already at the surface. And we will need a power source. I'm going to grab all that. And we are going to need, we already have the fluid ducts. Now, because sludge is not super hot or super cold, it doesn't matter which kind of fluid ducts you use. You can just use the copper ones if you want. I already have the other ones on me, so I'm just going to use those. So if you want to do this, you want to be very, very careful, but I recommend going out a couple blocks and finding a deep point of this, because if it will not be able to pick up anything if it's shallower. And I think I'm gonna build this here. So I'm gonna put the mining well on top of this, take out the block underneath. It does need line of sight, and an item will slowly drop, which I will show you. I forget the technical name for that, but you can see the pump slowly going down. It will go until it hits a solid block. Now, I don't know if we can just place this top or not. I find these tanks have to be filled from the top or bottom. I'm not sure if maybe I'm just using them wrong or what's going on. So if I configure this, yeah, okay, so it can be connected. And you can immediately see sludge flowing through and being emptied out. So this will take a few minutes, but it means we can just kind of bugger off and go do something else. So there is a plan for this area. I think I'm going to keep it a secret for now, but I am building these pits of death here for something, or someone maybe. And we will hopefully get into that within a couple videos. I hope this video was informative for you. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please leave them in the description. And as always, if you enjoy these videos, please like and subscribe. This is Lefologica, and cheers, folks.